that labor use to call attention of the government or organized organization to their plight, and I want to agree with them. I'm sure majority of Nigerians agree with what is actually going on, because it's as if we are even paying for darkness in the place of paying for electricity that will bring us. And this has actually started from, is it 9 years back that we have conceptualized privatization of this electricity. You recall that even when we don't privatize it, we don't have such a problem. But now that we have now privatized, we expect our government or even the people that bought it to do more. Because if you ask me, it has three layers. It has a generation, which is called GENCOs. It has a transmission, which is a TCN, and it has a distribution, which is DISCO. You recall that I think it is generation that we say is doing well, because actually, according to them, they generate a lot. The only problem they have now is even transmitting it and also distributing. And in terms of transmitting it, government is still in the transmitting. In fact, they are the only entity in that area. And even with that, we still have the same problem. So I think they are doing well in terms of showing their grievances, perhaps. And what is the problem? The problem is the band A, band B problem, because if you move some people to band A or you drop some people from band A, it shows an discrimination. That simply means people in band E should be expecting 3 hours. That means you are robbing Peter to pay Paul in the long run, because we are all entitled to this and we all say we want to pay, but we are now saying no, we want to give people the hours. Part of the meeting, the justification, because we ask, okay, why are you introducing band A, band B? They justify that that the problem is that they realize that they are not meeting up expectation. So there is a gap. But even with that gap, they also want to satisfy people that need it more. We now ask, who are the people that need it more? It's the people that can also have the affordability. So why are you bringing affordability? Ideally, everybody should be able to afford power. It should be the one that will switch off your electricity when you are not in need. And if you choose to leave it on, you also pay for it. So the fact now remains that they want to satisfy some people. Perhaps if you also ask me, I think it's a way of removing subsidy. You know, up till now, government is still paying subsidy on electricity. So they are looking for a way of removing that subsidy, and that's why they are shifting it to band A consumers. But even at that, band A people getting it as an way.
Talking about the subsidy, that just brings into mind, because yesterday the IMF released an advisory to Nigeria,
right,
advising that subsidies in both the electricity and petroleum sectors be removed entirely. And many would question it. Is it from a sense of imperialism, or shouldn't Nigeria be the best persons to tell the IMF that at this point our people cannot do without the subsidy? Subsidies are still paid in even the United States on basic commodities to make the citizens be able to live with the cost of living crisis.
Right. I think listening to IMF and Bretton Woods institution as a whole, I think they want to continue to subjugate Nigeria into poverty, because Nigeria should be able to develop in-house solutions to their problems. Because if you say there shouldn't be subsidy, go to America up till now, there's a subsidy on agriculture, produce and even equipment. There's a subsidy in different myriad of things. So for you to say Nigerians should not embark on subsidy, that means you just want to continue to subjugate Nigeria. But I wouldn't blame them, because if you look at the body language of the current president, it's much more of a capitalism way of governing. Because if you look at Buhari is more, Buhari will look at some things and say, no, let us tarry a bit. That's what even makes the first subsidy removal to extend to Tinubu. But immediately Tinubu assume office, he actually removed. So I think we should be careful with what they do. We should also recall SAP during Babangida era. It's just like something like this, and this is what we cause the problems. I recall there was a salary problem. I forgot the also committee that period. The same thing that is happening now is what's happening during SAP. And do we benefit anything from it? There was nothing we benefit. So we should have had in-house solution to our economic problem. You understand people that are in Nigeria. How will somebody in America, deciding for you how to really tame the poverty, that you understand what brought about it? Because the major cause of poverty is that lack of infrastructure. If you have electricity available, I want to tell you that if you have continuous stable electricity for 3 years, Nigeria economy is going to turn for good, because a common barber shop will be able to afford it, because a barber shop will go and buy fuel at very exorbitant price. A manufacturing sector will also go and buy diesel at exorbitant price. So if there is a stable power, Nigerians would like to pay for it. Perhaps all these are leaders. That's what always surprises me. They go abroad too. They saw what is obtainable, and